My intention tonight is for you to leave with three things. First of all, singing is for everyone, not just for the select few. Second of all, you can use singing to go through trials, tribulations, and trauma. Third thing is undisclosed, and if you stick with me till the end, you'll find out. Are you ready for the ride? Yeah. Okay. So the song I just sang was inspired by a very traumatic episode in my life that left me emotionally stranded. A few years ago, I was living in a one-bedroom apartment that literally felt like a box. It was similar to the one I used to live in when I was a student in my 20s, only this time I am much older. I'm expected to do better, but the problem is I'm under massive pressure and I am broken in every sense of the word. Yes, emotionally, yes, financially, every sense of the word. So it's a summer evening, I'm sitting on my bed in this box, feeling absolutely miserable. The bathroom stinks. It doesn't matter how much I clean it, how much I'm disinfecting the pipes, the smell is pungent. And that would be a metaphor of what I was going through. The ugliness of my life at that point was so strong that I could not avoid it, no matter how much I turned away. So yes, I felt miserable. Yes, I started crying. The crying became wailing. The wailing became ugly cries. And in the midst of all of that, I feel a song taking birth inside of me. And I start singing. At the end of the song, I feel renewed. There's a change of state. What do I do at that point? I walk to the stinking bathroom. At that point, I don't care anymore. I wash my face. I put on some makeup. I take a selfie and I post it on social media. There. Not vanity. This was very important for me to mark a moment when I started healing from a traumatic situation just with a song. Trauma, trauma, trauma. It's a huge thing, but let's start from the beginning. Medical experts make a difference between major trauma and psychological trauma. Major trauma is a physical injury caused by an external source, and psychological trauma is triggered by either a sudden event or a series of many little disturbing events that would chip away your life, your soul, your spirit. You don't notice it until things start happening. When trauma occurs, your brain sends a signal to your body to command the release of two hormones, cortisol, adrenaline. And that sets you in the state of fight or flight. And I'm telling you, that's what disrupts everything. Let me tell you what I went through. I could not retain information properly anymore. I didn't see it developing, but more and more it came. My attention span was so shortened. I loved to read, but I couldn't go past 2 pages without feeling a dark cloud on my head. It goes further. I lost hair a few times. The last straw came when I discovered something absolutely suspicious on my left breast. Then I went to the doctor because that was too much for me. Luckily for me, no bad news. You see, when trauma strikes in like this uninvited guest in your life, it will try to claim the throne of your life, but you can overturn things. Like I said, by going to the doctor, by talking to a licensed therapist. Trust me, I was sitting in the office of my therapist week after week. I was crying. I was cursing. I was mad. I was letting it out, but it paid off. I did that for 1 year. a little bit more. That's what you can do. And in anticipation of every appointment, I would sing. But I wouldn't just sing professionally. That's where I started really intentionally using singing as my therapeutic tool. Singing is that golden gift that is embedded in each and every one of you, ready to use, no matter where you come from, no matter what your story is, ready to use for you to reconnect with yourself anytime you're broken. It doesn't matter whether you're hitting the right notes or not. You need that routine. I want to give you, actually, there's so many reasons why you should sing every day. And include it as your self-care routine every day. But today, since we don't have that much time, we'll just limit it to 5 reasons. So the first reason is your emotional well-being. Every time you sing, your body releases endorphins. We call them the happy hormones. Imagine the like tiny little superheroes out on the fly, out there to go and attack the negative emotions that you have. That's really what happens. Singing will be also your therapeutic outlet for your emotions. Anybody listens to blues or gospel music? That was the outlet that African slaves on the plantations used to deal with their trauma from being beaten. And that produced such jewels that we listen to today. Second reason is physical, your physical health. Singing will improve your breathing, your posture, increase your lung capacity because of the deep breathing, and even your blood circulation. I had the honor of participating in a program that was inspired by the ENO Breathe program, which was a strategy created by opera singers in the UK in collaboration with doctors to address the needs of long COVID patients suffering from shortness of breath. So we saw that work on even patients of severe asthma. That was amazing. Another reason, social perks. Group singing will foster a sense of community, togetherness. Group singing or just singing all together will help you in ice-breaking situations. I'd like to leave something for all of you who are corporate professionals here. If you master singing a little bit more than your colleagues, you stand out automatically because your communication skills are above average. I hear people laughing a bit because it's true. Your networking skills are different because the singing would have improved your confidence, and we'll come to that later. Now, the next reason, personal development. I was talking about self-confidence and self-esteem. The regular practice of singing will help you develop your patience and your perseverance. Now, let's come to the last reason of today, cognitive function. Learning new songs will engage several parts of your brain. Remember I told you how my memory was affected by trauma. I intentionally started learning more songs, different melodic patterns, and songs in other languages. My memory improved. By the way, let me show you a little video, an MRI scan video that depicts what happens to your brain every time you sing. Fireworks. So credits for this. This is not a real MRI scan video, of course. An illustration. And credits go to my daughter for this creation. She's a very free spirit. She's extremely creative and artistic. And she taught me very early on that the key to vocal freedom or any kind of freedom is revisiting childhood and letting the child inside of us live. Can I tell you a little story? Yes. me tell you that story. We're downtown Darmstadt. We always have to give the setting. Downtown Darmstadt, Luisenplatz post office. Long waiting line. We're waiting forever. That's a very bad combination for a 3-year-old. So she gets impatient. She grabs my phone. I don't notice it. I see that. I'm pissed. I take it back from her. And at that point, what happens? She balls up her little body, takes a kneeling stand. I promise you, the scream that she let out, it overtook the whole building. People turn around looking at me like, why? At that point, what happens is this. This old man, he walks up to me. I'm getting ready for the lecture of the day. You're a bad mother. Blah, blah. He says, das ist eine Sängerin. Bitte fördern. And then he walks out. Translation, that's a singer, please support her. I'm telling you, the embarrassed mom became a proud mom. I looked at her and said, "You go, girl." So what is it that makes children so free and have access to such vocal prowess without any training? There's a voice scientist called Dr. Theodore Dimon Jr. Released a book that changed my life. Voice and Body Connection, the Key to Natural Singing and Speaking. He says the reason is very simple: lack of inhibition. Children are free of social constructs. Children are free of judgment. If they want to scream, they will scream. They won't ask for your permission to sing, they will sing. Revisiting childhood for freedom, please. Keep that in your mind. I want to tell you another story that really marked me, because it's a story of a client as a vocal coach who overcame trauma right in front of me. Let's give her a name for privacy reasons. Laura. Laura comes to me, successful entrepreneur. She's an alpha type. Her speaking voice is absolutely present, but her singing voice, weak, very weak. She has obvious resonance problems. So we start working together, open vowels, a lot of breathing, voice-body connection and everything. But still, I can't help but notice that her jaw area and her throat are constricted. So I can't help but ask her, I say, "Laura, every time you sing, it seems as though someone is holding your neck." I didn't know I would open the page of a very traumatic episode in her life. Laura tells me when she was a teenager, she got raped and strangled, and the rapist told her, "Don't tell anyone or else I will kill you." So what happens is that Laura goes through the biggest part of her teenage, wanting to be invisible, not wanting to be heard, and she found a way to emotionally, spiritually divide herself and live out of herself and completely be alienated from herself, which would explain why her singing voice became a small little thing. She was silenced. She was silenced. But what happened was this: the mere fact that she told me about her story within the session was a breakthrough. Because after that, session after session, she was opening up. She was singing happily. She kept becoming louder. And one thing that really tickled me was that when she talked about these wins, the alpha lady would talk to me in a child's voice. She was reconnecting with the child she was. Revisit your childhood to find your freedom. I can't tell that enough. You see, I'm very grateful to be able to stand here today, not only to tell you what the gift of song has done for my healing, also for my professional path, because I've been blessed to be part of beautiful projects. But the purpose of it all is for me to stand here and tell you that you're not too rich to sing, you're not too poor to sing, you're worthy to sing. It's inside of you. When you were born, you let out a cry. That was your first note. When you were in the embryo and your mother was putting you to sleep, she sang lullabies. Your father too. They sang lullabies to you. You were already exposed to music. If you have that problem being shut down and being silenced, it's because you allowed social constructs to silence you. So please sing every day and stop worrying about what people will say or what note you hit. We're not trying to be Beyonce. Be your own self. By the way, let's come to the little surprise, the little gift. I cannot come here and sing and not make you sing. So are you ready to sing with me? Yes! Now this is a free vocal lesson I'm going to give you. So I'm going to ask you to stand up. Let's all stand up. It'll do you a lot of good. We're going to start by breathing together. Okay? We'll inhale, not too long, and exhale a little longer because that's where the singing occurs. So I'll do a little demonstration for you, and then you will replicate that. So something like this. Let's go together. 1 and 2. Once again. Very good. Go on with the breathing again. Very good. And now you replace the exhalation with a ya. Something open, something bright, something yellow. I don't know why makes me think of the color yellow, but let's go with it. Let's go. Inhale. Yeah. That sounds great. One more time. Yeah. And a third time. Yeah. Don't you feel empowered? I know you do. Now we're going to sing, and I'm going to give you a simple note. We're going to get into that note, and at some point, I'm going to sing the song that I sang in the beginning with you. So, let's go. For the guys. You feel me? Let's go. Now everybody all together. Feel free to click your fingers. And if you feel the move, go on and move. One more time. Let's go. I find my life in spite of night, and I be singing through the drama. My voice will soar forevermore. Yes, I'll be singing no more trauma. One last note. You're amazing. You're amazing. Thank you very much.